Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight for our webinar, Accessing TEPP for Quality Products for Living with Lori Flores. Lori is the Director of Outreach and Technology at Here, Wisconsin, and also leads outreach efforts for their Hearing Healthcare Center. And besides her day-to-day operations of the retail space, Lori does provide training to individuals with hearing loss and assist them with their communication needs. So if anyone has a question throughout the presentation, feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. And then I will also ask questions that I know I've been asked prior to this training. So let me share my screen. And then you can go on ahead, Lori.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you everyone. Good evening for being a part of this presentation. And I know Kate already told you that my title is the Director of Outreach and Technology. And we're just going to continue along here with the presentation. And the next slide.
Oh,
there we go. Okay, as you see, Here Wisconsin has been in business since 1926. So we've been around a long time. We like to say we're one of the best kept secrets in Wisconsin. We are a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 organization. You notice that we are in West Dallas on 102nd and National. We are in a standalone building. Right across the street from us is a strip mall, but we are on the other end. We have a large orange sign outside. You cannot miss it. And we have parking for any of our customers who choose to participate in our services. And we do provide services throughout all of Wisconsin. So not just in the local area, we go way up north, wherever the wind will take you, up to Plover or Plymouth or Oshkosh, Eau Claire, every place in Wisconsin we do service. And we like to say, oh dear, that we are a one-stop shop for better hearing loss. I will have to fix that note right there. And yes, 97 years of service we are celebrating. And this is just our mission statement, and you will find this on the website, that we are a nonprofit that helps infants, children, and adults with hearing loss by eliminating communication and language barriers through personalized services, technology, and education. So just a little bit of history on Here, Wisconsin. We have our Kellogg Child and Family Services program, which is early intervention services for infants and toddlers. And what I like to say about that area, newborns are tested in the hospital for a hearing loss before they leave. And if they do have a hearing loss, many families are just lost. They're devastated. They don't know what to do. So I like to say that this area kind of wraps their arms around the families and helps them through the process. We have what is called the Birth to 3 program at Here, Wisconsin. So we have a lot of these little infants and toddlers that come here 2 to 3 times a week. It can be very noisy up in the child and family area, but they're up there and they're learning social skills. They're interacting with other children. We also have hearing children in there as well, because throughout their life, they're not going to just meet up with deaf people. They need to know how to interact with everyone. Now, when they're 3 years of age and they graduate from this class, we do not just say goodbye to them. The SLPs, the speech language pathologists, will continue to work with them. They'll go to their homes. They'll maybe go to the classroom. Wherever the need is, they will continue to work with them. We have adult services, and this is Ruth's area. So these are individuals who are deaf and have cognitive disabilities. Ruth meets with them once a week, and either it can be at Here, Wisconsin, or now that the weather is nice, she takes them out and about to a lot of different places. Last week, they went to a horse farm. They go bowling. They do ceramics. They've gone to the zoo, just lots of different places so that they can interact socially. Some of them are kind of homebound, and Ruth will go to their homes and help them, like pay bills, make appointments on the phone, maybe help with grocery shopping. So she does a lot with her adults, and she's been doing this a very long time. We had some ASL classes. They just ended about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. They were totally free to anyone who wanted to attend. We had a new deaf employee who did those classes for us. And I'm going to assume, I don't know for sure, that we will be starting those up again. We have our ComLink, sign language interpreting. So we have interpreters that go out in the area, again, throughout Wisconsin, and will perform interpreting for wherever it's needed. They do a lot with classrooms. They do a lot with hospitals. And we just started really promoting this program again. It kind of went to the wayside a little bit, but we did hire a new person who is very gung-ho in getting our interpreters engaged and started to get them working with other individuals that need this service. And the Hearing Healthcare Center, our audiology clinic. We have, well, right now we have 4 audiologists. One is part-time, and they have a full service clinic at here, Wisconsin. They accept all different types of insurance, and they provide all different types of hearing aids because we know one size does not fit all. And we always have one audiologist on our MAC. It's our mobile audiology clinic that goes out and about to a lot of independent and assistive living facilities. And they at first will perform hearing screenings just to get an idea how your hearing loss is. And then they will continue to go to those facilities about monthly if they can. And whatever they can do in the clinic at here, Wisconsin, they can do on the mobile audiology clinic as well. So they can do evaluations, they can do hearing fittings, they can do programming of those hearing aids, in addition to a little minor repair, maybe change batteries, filters, things like that. And they have been extremely, extremely busy. And then the Assistive Technology Center, the ATC, that is my area. And we will get into that next. So we serve children of all ages and infants. A child, actually a little toddler, can be 3 years of age, and they can get a TEPP voucher. And then you can get a voucher every 3 years until the end of your life. We have had adults in their for around 100 years of age who have used the voucher program. It covers the entire spectrum of hearing loss. And we really are the only agency of its kind in Wisconsin that can offer this type of a service. Here, Wisconsin is the largest vendor for the voucher program that I will get into. And again, like I said, we do service all of Wisconsin because we can ship to all different areas of Wisconsin. So the showroom, as we call it, was founded in the summer of 1995. And it's just to increase awareness statewide of the products that are available. And myself and my staff will provide one-on-one equipment assessments. And we also do hands-on equipment demonstrations in our recently remodeled showroom, which is just beautiful, by the way, very spacious. We do provide all types of equipment there that people can come in and try and test if they want. We do home and work site assessments. We do work with certain companies. They hire someone who has a hearing loss. We will go there and assist to find out what equipment is needed so that employee can best perform their job. So we also provide training. We don't do real in-depth training, but we will give them specifics. We will also go to someone's home if they have no one else available to help them with their equipment. We will go there and we will install the equipment and give them some training as well. That is provided as a service. Outreach, of course, we perform. That's something I'm doing right now. I have been pretty busy with that myself, and I will try and go to as many different places as I can. Those are our phone numbers, and that is our website address. And we also provide assistance to senior living facilities and independent. When the MAC goes someplace for the very first time, we do a presentation there, and I go along to explain the voucher program. We do all different types of health and wellness fairs. We've done conferences with the HLAA, Lions Foundation, Alzheimer's. We are involved with the Cochlear Awareness Network meetings. Lutheran Social Services has very many facilities throughout Wisconsin, and we have actually probably, I think, been to about 13 of them so far. So the TEPP voucher program. You must live in Wisconsin and have some form of a hearing, mobility, vision, or speech impairment to apply for a voucher. Those are the only requirements that are needed to obtain a voucher, which is then used as cash, really, to purchase equipment. There is a $100 voucher, someone who is just in the early stages of hearing loss, and it's not income based. We'll get to that. So what that means is if you have a $100 voucher, and let's just say you buy an alarm clock that's $109.95, you would pay anything over that $100. And that also needs to include tax and possibly shipping as well. The $800 deaf or severely hard of hearing voucher is probably one of the most popular that we have right now. And this voucher does require a $100 co-payment. Now, if your income falls below a certain level, there's another part of the program that will begin again July 1st. They did run out of funding that will assist with that $100 copay. And I apologize, we just found out today that that household income was just raised. It's about $79,000 right now. I will have to update that. Just found out today. So these two categories are probably the most used. Although we have done a lot of the $1,600 speech or mobility vouchers, that one needs to have a $100 copay. That is not any type of a hearing loss. So the individual family member, maybe a county, would need to pay that $100, but you are getting $1,600 worth of equipment for that $100. And then we go up to a $2,500 or a $7,200. Those are very specialized equipment needs for our customers. So therefore they need something that's just a little bit higher. And there are always some restrictions that do apply. But what I would like to tell you, which is a big part of the program now, is that on the $800 voucher or higher, customers can purchase an iPhone or an iPad with those vouchers. There are, again, some restrictions with that. The TEPP voucher program will pay for the least amount of space on an iPhone. So let's just say it comes in a 128 and then a 256 gigabyte. The voucher will pay for the 128. You can upgrade if you do need more space, and then we would just advise you what that additional charge would be, and that would be out of your own pocket.
Do the household income restrictions apply to all of these the same? If you, like, if your household income is above 79,000, you cannot qualify for these?
That is correct.
Okay. Are there any that are not income based?
The $100 voucher is not income based, and now the $1,600 speech and mobility are no longer income based either.
Okay.
You need to pay that copay.
Okay.
Good question. Thank you.
Yep.
So so just so we're clear, the speech and the lesser ones income does not matter. You have to pay a copay no matter what, but you're eligible either way, correct?
Yes, correct. The $100 voucher, or now the $1,600 voucher. I'm sorry, let's change that again. The $100 voucher is just a $100 voucher. The only other one where you must pay the $100 would be on the $1,600 voucher, or I'm not saying this correctly, I apologize. If your income is below a certain amount, which is, let's just say for one person, $29,000, you can apply for the $100 copay assistance on the $800 voucher, the $2,500, or the $7,200 voucher, because those are for people with hearing loss. On the speech or mobility, the individual needs to pay that $100 no matter what their income is.
Okay.
Right, so they're still eligible for the voucher. They just
Correct.
have to pay the copay.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can make, $900,000 a year and you can still apply for this voucher. Absolutely.
Okay. So like my son is a non-speaking autistic.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean he would be able to apply for the $1,600 speech impaired voucher?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the type of equipment we normally get for children on that voucher is the iPad,
Mhm.
depending on their age, would be an iPad. We can get them a case, and
Mhm.
then we would need to get a speech app for them, which
Okay.
a lot of times the SLP can recommend which one. And
Yep.
then what we do is we gift it to you as an app, and you'll get it through your email. And then when you get the iPad, you would download it to it. So then
Okay.
that would become his voice.
Okay. Does this
Wonderful.
also apply, like in our house, we've been talking about uh, uh, like an Apple Watch, because he uses this crazy complicated thing, but he uses apps on his phone that would also then communicate with his watch, and he could, have it as sort of like a little less tied down if he can use the apps on his watch for communication. Yeah.
It probably would not work, only because we do need to have that speech app. On the speech voucher, there does need to be a speech app. So that would, I don't think, and please excuse me, because I'm not sure. I don't think
Okay.
that can be downloaded to an Apple Watch.
I kind of think it can. But that's okay. Because
But
there's new watches now that have cellular capabilities, so they
Mhm,
talk to the phone that has the app.
mhm.
Yeah.
The Apple Watches are very specific. So for that piece of equipment, we would probably need to get an explanation of why it is needed, and then we would get
Mhm.
an approval from the TEPP administrator for that.
You bet. Yep.
But that's something we're happy to do.
Okay. Cool.
Wonderful. All right.
So this is just some of the other equipment that can be purchased. The bottom white is called a pocket talker. That is just a personal listening device. It amplifies the speech around you. So that is good for someone who maybe they're hearing aids, they wear hearing aids, but maybe they're a little bit older and they need something more, but they don't want to buy new hearing aids. They can use that. So it is used with or without a hearing aid. That particular one has a setting on the back. So if you have less hearing loss in one ear as opposed to the other, you can adjust it for that reason. The black phone in the middle is a Panasonic phone, and that particular phone is good for, I want to say, more of the elderly, because it has a slow down feature on it. While you're talking on the handset, you can slow the voice down. When you're listening to messages, you can slow the voice down. So if they're talking really fast like this, because it's the doctor's office,
Oh.
you hit a slow down button, and then they will talk to you like I'm talking to you right now.
Mhm.
That's been a very popular phone. It comes in a white, which is a 40 decibel phone, a silver, which is a 50, and then the black one here is also a 40 decibel phone. That's going to great help for a lot of customers. And then the one with the captioning, that's what that is. That's a caption phone. So individuals who may now start having word recognition issues, they can purchase a caption phone so that when they are talking to a person on the other end, whatever that person is saying to them, they will be able to read and then respond. It also has an answering machine that will caption the messages for them. And that particular model there has a speakerphone to it as well.
Wonderful. And I just want to remind families, as you know, I know we mentioned the hard of hearing, the TEPP voucher does not relate to intellectual and developmental disabilities specific. So you could be thinking of TEPP voucher for a parent, an elderly parent, or someone else. So, keep that in mind, or even for yourself.
Yep.
So just want to make sure that, families realize that this is available to everybody,
Right.
assuming you are hard of hearing or have a speech disability or physical disability or, a vision issue.
And that caption phone actually is totally covered on a $100 voucher. With tax and shipping, it comes to $91.26. So
Oh,
it's very
wow.
affordable. Yeah, very affordable. So again, Apple iPhones, iPads, we do have the any type of a smartphone really are allowed on the $800 and $1,600 vouchers. There are also like streamers. If someone has a Phonak or Oticon hearing aids, There are certain streamers that you can purchase that you can use with the phone, but many of the most current hearing aids now that are like a Phonak or Oticon, they have a program in there now that automatically streams to an iPhone or an iPad, and each audiology center has a listing of which phones are compatible with the hearing aids. Same thing with a phone clip or a Roger pen. Some of those as well, you don't need to have those anymore. The not so much the phone clips, but Roger pen, we haven't ordered too many of those lately. So, but it's a good thing to have because there are some individuals who maybe didn't have an iPhone or an iPad before, got brand new hearing aids, and now they can get one of those and hear that much better with it. There
Very
are
cool.
signaling devices you can get also. The one in the middle that's got it says 1104 on it in green. That particular item comes with a doorbell button and a bed shaker. It's an alarm clock and it's a transmitter. So what it will do is, let's say somebody pushes your wireless doorbell button that you get with it. The item directly to the right of it, kind of with a bright screen, is called a receiver. So you can get up to 4 of those to put around different areas of your home. So when the doorbell rings, an icon is going to flash that says doorbell on it. And those are items, they're very portable. If you want to unplug one, you have it in the kitchen, but you're going to be down in the basement all day or in the garage, you can unplug it and take it into those areas and it'll continue to work for you. The bed shaker, of course, that's exactly what it is. It's powerful enough that you can put that under your mattress and it'll vibrate strong enough to wake you up. Or maybe you might want to pin it to your pillowcase. Maybe you have if there's an adult son who, could have a freight train go through their bedroom and they still won't wake up. That might be something that could help them. And then the items that you see to the left, that one particular round object, that is a smoke alarm. You can also get a what's the other one? Smoke or
Carbon monoxide.
Carbon monoxide. Thank you. I just out of it today. Those are things that can transmit to a signaling device. That particular one transmits to the item directly to the right of it, which is a silent call. And then it will flash a light to let somebody know that there is a fire. The one in the center I told you about, you can get what's called an audio alarm. And that's the thing kind of in the middle between those two pieces of equipment. And that would be put next to or attached to your typical T3 smoke detector. And if that were to go off, that piece of equipment will transmit like to the alarm clock. So then lights will flash. It can make a sound if you want. And the bed shaker would vibrate to let you know that there is a fire. The only thing with the voucher program is that anything that is fire related is not covered on the voucher program, unfortunately. We've been fighting for that for quite a while. It hasn't happened. The one particular item, the little white one in the center there, is fairly reasonable. I believe it's $49.95. That can help if somebody really does need something for the fire or the carbon monoxide. The item directly to the right is a telephone ringer. So what that does is it can be Bluetooth to Bluetooth. If you use your cell phone as your alarm, but maybe it's not quite loud enough, you can get a bed shaker so that when your cell phone goes off, the bed shaker will vibrate to let you know that it's time to get up, or maybe somebody might use it as a notification for to take some medicine, or maybe just to let them know somebody's coming to pick them up at a certain time. And that pretty much is it. I apologize. I kind of tripped over myself here today. I had a long day at work, so that's probably why.
No worries, Lori. So
Yeah.
question, what's the best way for families to get the process started who are interested in TEPP?
Okay, there's a couple different ways. I can, if you want, Katie, I can email you the link to the Solex website. There is where you can go and apply online yourself for a voucher. And if you do that, the voucher would be mailed to you, but I would need to have the voucher sent to me. There's also a drop-down box as you work through the process where you can say if you want it to come to here, Wisconsin. Otherwise, it will come directly to you. I can email you the form, or best way is probably to apply online. That's one of the fastest ways. Or if I email you the form, it's an online app that's fillable that you could send right back to me. Or we can snail mail it to you.
Wonderful. So I will get that from you, Lori, and then I will
Yes.
include it with the entire presentation.
Mhm.
And I can download the brochures from the Here Wisconsin website
Yes,
in order to have those flyers for them as well.
right. And I know we also have a link on our website that can take you to the TEPP application as well.
Oh, okay, great.
Yep.
Does
And
anyone,
then,
oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I know I was gonna say, then there is that email. If you have any questions, you can email the info at herewi.org, and my area will get those inquiries from you.
Wonderful. And then Lori, I'll also share just contact information with everybody as well.
Mhm.
So then after they apply on, let's say they apply online and they get the voucher in the mail, what's
Mhm.
their next step?
Okay, and first of all, once you apply online, it's going to take about 2 to 3 weeks to get the actual voucher, but the voucher is good for 4 months. So we have lots of time. What you would need to do is just contact my area to say that you have a voucher. We'll ask you some questions, what type of a voucher you have. We'll probably ask you what the expire date is. And then we'll just talk with you to find out what equipment you feel is needed for yourself or for your family member, your son or daughter. And then we can price things out for you, give you recommendations. And then the voucher would need to be mailed to us. I don't know where you would be living in proximity to us. You can come on in with it if you'd like instead.
Great. And then lastly, oh, I had something in my head and now I forgot it.
Well, now I don't feel so bad.
So we talked about dropping it off, what documentation would a family need? Is there a requirement of
Oh,
proof of disability or proof that they like, how do they prove that they would
okay.
qualify for a particular category?
Good questions. Thank you. Well, first of all, let's start with if they wanted the $100 TAP funding. What is needed then is a current audiogram or a completed hearing loss certificate that would be filled out by an audiologist. And that is a form that we have available at Here Wisconsin. Then for, let's say, normally when it's a speech voucher, we have been working with the families, but also with the speech language pathologists. So we would need some type of a written assessment as to the child's needs and why exactly he would need that type of equipment. Same thing with mobility, because mobility is not someone who is walking with a cane or with a walker. Mobility is someone who might be confined to a wheelchair, someone who is bedridden. So you're talking about maybe someone who has ALS, maybe they have muscular dystrophy, perhaps they have Parkinson's, something like that would be mobility related. But for speech, we do need to have something in writing that explains to us why that equipment is needed. And that is something we do not pass on to the TEPP administrator, but it's something that we do need to have in case they ever ask questions as to why maybe that child or that adult got the equipment that they did receive.
For something like speech, for some of our folks, they maybe haven't spoke for 20 years, so they're,
Oh.
they don't have anything necessarily like on file anymore.
Mhm, mhm.
Enough to have like a doctor just write a note saying, due to, this person having
Mhm.
this, diagnosis, they are nonverbal, then they would benefit from a communication device. Is that good from a doctor, like their
Yes,
primary?
yes, that would be fine. Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful.
Mhm.
Is there anything else I'm trying to think of? Anyone have any other questions? All right. Thank you, Lori.
You are very welcome.
We
This was
appreciate it.
great, super helpful.
Well, great.
You know,
I'm glad it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And
Jenny.
And Katie, if you want, when you put the contact information, I mean, that is the number that we have there is the general number to, it will be answered by our care coordinators who are up in
Okay.
the lobby area. But the number I gave you, the 414-541-5465 is
Yep.
to our area. And
Okay.
if you even want, you can give them the number for my direct number. That's fine too.
Okay. I will make sure to give them that correct numbers then.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not a problem. Make life a little bit easier for everybody.
It
No
it
problem.
will, because you call the 2200, you will get prompts, of course. But as we all know, when you try to follow a prompt, you always don't get to the right area then.
It's so true.
Exactly. We like real people.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I will share that. And then just a reminder for those who are on the call, we do have another webinar in September called Now Hiring, basically talking about public benefits and Social Security and how that might be impacted. So be sure to look on our website for that if you're interested. So, all right. I hope everyone has an absolutely wonderful weekend. It's Wednesday evening.
I think we've all had a long day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lori.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I'll be
You're
in
very
communication
welcome.
with you. Everyone have a
Okay,
great
thank you
night.
all. You
All
too.
right. Bye.
Bye.